Now remember how important eyeliner numbing is, because see how the blood vessels dilated? Now look at that difference. And that's just because I just, did this one pass. Okay.
That the same numbing that you did?
Yeah.
The
For
first one?
for the brows and all of that. Yep. Okay. You always want the light in front of you.
Okay.
And then we're gonna stretch. And you go really slow, that's the key. And you want to do it right where the lash line is. That's the best part about permanent liners, if you can get it where the lashes are, because that's where clients have a hard time getting their eyeliner.
Is this lower?
No, this is
Upper. Okay.
You can come from above too. That's easier.
Oh wow, yeah, that's okay. Looks really nice.
Now, this is where it's more sensitive for clients in the inner corner. So you just see I'm stretching this way.
Oh, and lifting.
Yep. Stretch to the left and then lift. That way, see how her eye is never exposed? And there we go. Look at that. Really pretty already. And now we're going to put on numbing to help with any blood vessel dilation. So look, this one is already numbed up. You can tell because of the white, the blanching of the skin, where this one we're numbing now.
Yeah.
So we're going to go in and wipe. We're going to look where we've done it. We're going to go in. Now a lot of times I'm going to have to go in this inner corner again. So use almost every finger to stretch.
And pulling in the right direction.
And it takes time to practice and learn how to
You're
stretch
kind of
the
using
skin.
your pinky
Yes.
to hold.
There we go. See that difference? And now I'm doing a row above where I went from middle of the eye out.
Okay, to make it
Make it lifted, exactly. Because you don't want it really heavy in that inner corner there. You just want to look like the lashes are thicker. We're going right above.
This is actually a really nice video because I can see from above.
So notice I'm using every part of my, look at that. Isn't that pretty? And that's how simple it is. It's just really knowing. So again, I'm going to go in this inner corner, using all my fingers to stretch. Making sure this is nice and crisp and thin. And then going over, making sure that's all pigments nice and in there. And then from the middle of Nancy's eye, where the middle measurement would be, we start to go slightly above. That way, if you go from middle to the outer corner, it looks like a natural lift versus an extreme tail work. Now, you'll have people that want that tail work, you can do it, but it's sometimes a little harsh. Now, if they have a rounder eye and they have a lot of lid space, then I like it. But deeper set eyes, Nancy and I both have those, you want a little bit less of a tail. Okay, so we're going to wipe and then have her open. Go ahead and open for me. Here we are.
That looks good.
Look good? Okay, so now you can tell we've done a second pass on this, but we haven't done it here yet.
Oh yeah.
See
it's
the
much
difference?
more.
Yeah. And this is much more defined. So now we're going to do our second pass here. Okay, close for me. You'll feel, and always before you go to do your pass, make sure you put that anesthetic. So you're always moving to one eye and then numbing the other. So make sure your top is open and you're stretching. Does this feel better, Nancy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. It should be a little bit more numb now.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm kind of going through this one just a little bit. Just to redefine that lash line before I start to thicken.
Okay.
Your pressure is only just the weight of the handle. You do not push. You don't need to. You just basically guide the tip along the skin. And the machine is already, because of the needle, the way it goes in, it's already predetermined because of that not turning all the way down. So you don't really have to worry about it.
That's kind of maybe like a safety guard. That way it doesn't go deep or doesn't
Well,
turn
it
down too
depends.
much.
The only thing I like and don't like, the don't like, is because if I have a really thin skin, I would have to turn it down. So now I'm going back into that inner corner. Notice my stretching. I'm using every finger. Okay. And the inner corner is the hardest part for the client and for the technician. And then I'll numb that a little bit more, just because I can tell the little blood vessels dilating there. So I'll go back through.
Does it bleed at all when you do that?
Actually, no, because of
No?
the anesthetic.
Okay.
The anesthetic actually kind
Keeps
of
it-
constricts the capillaries, so it doesn't bleed. So what we do as technicians is we watch. If the eyelid starts to get red, we'll stop and then put more numbing on it. So that way we prevent, because I always tell my clients, if you bleed, I can't get color in. So we can't do two at the same time. So now again, from middle of the eye, approximately, I'm going to start going a row above. And this is, again, a way for the eyeliner to look natural, but yet give them that lift. You can tell, like, there's already some shading.
Yeah, that looks good. You can see the thickness too. Starting to come.
I'm telling you, that's the easiest way to do them. Now, again, if she wanted like a really thick tail, you'd have to pre-sketch that on. But when you're going with a natural eyelid, and that shape looks good on almost everyone. Really very few people, I would say. Only really round. Just firming up that. Okay, now I'm gonna number. Okay, I'm gonna wipe. So now that I've done this one, I already know this one is numb. You always wipe it before they open, and then open. There we go.
Oh, wow.
And so you can tell that outer corner is thicker. So now look how much this one shrunk.
Oh yeah.
And it's because when you put the tip in, the skin expands. Then when it has time to settle and shrink up, it shrunk. So now we have to go above again. And you just keep working back and forth like that. Because it's very tricky. You have to give each eye time to kind of numb and let it settle, and then you go back and you see how much more you have to do. Now this is the third pass. Go ahead and close. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is go above. We're doing your brows today, right? Are we doing brows or just liner? I can't remember.
Liner. But I was going to ask you when you think I need to do brows.
I would say fairly soon.
Really?
Yeah. Well, just because they're starting to get that, like, faded. And I think it's just really from all the peels, too.
You probably don't have time today.
I have no idea what my schedule is. I need to check it, though. You know me, I just show up.
Yeah.
I haven't even looked. I'm spoiled now with assistants, so they prep everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and you want that line really nice and just where it looks. See that now that's implanted, all of that. Do you see the difference?
Go straight.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go on the outer corner again. You got to watch your finger when you're doing this to make sure it's not in her eye. Because you get
wow.
so focused on what you're doing, you got to keep an eye on that. And what the hardest thing is when you're learning, it's to remember all these little things. So I'm pulling, so you'll notice with my pinky finger what I'm doing is I'm pulling down on the lashes when I'm doing it.
So you can get in close.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
See? Now I just want a little bit more right here.
Mm-hmm.
But that's perfect. That thickness, got in close. So again, the light gets turned this way, so that way your hand doesn't create a shadow.
Mm-hmm. Turn towards you.
Mm-hmm. That took me a little bit to figure out. Little things like that, they take a while to, you're like, why is it shadowing? You keep moving it.
How long you been doing this? How many years?
18 years.
Been doing permanent?
Well, no, 15.
15.
Since 03.
Okay.
Esthetician for
Yeah.
18. Okay, open. Still a little bit more. Okay, close. So I literally need a row above this line. The tails are the hardest in the inner corner. The middle of the eye is easy.
Is that the thickest skin of the eye?
You know, I just think it's the curve that's easier. Open. Yeah. Just probably one more row and that one's done. Okay, close. Because you can see where it's implanted is slightly red, so that tells me that it won't hold there until it's more solid with pigment. And when you first start, you don't realize all those things, so you think it's... Now we got it. Okay, open. Voila. Now it's perfect. So pretty. So pretty.
Thank you.
It's always exciting. Okay, close for me. Now I'm going to put numbing just to keep that from getting inflamed or swelling.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I know I'm done with this one, I usually still put it on there because that way she's comfortable. And the hardest is when you're right-handed and you're doing the crossing. So the right eye is always going to be easier. Getting there. And I think everybody too has a different pain tolerance on each side of their body. Clients will tell me that they feel it more, and I can start on the left and then go to the right and they feel it more on the second one, not on the first.
Does that have anything to do with the side that they sleep on?
No, I really think it's because by the time you get to that second side, the body's already messaged. You know,
Like
the nerves.
something's wrong
Yeah,
here.
something's going on. I think it's just the warning signs that the body lets you know. See if I can get, let me check this inner corner. I need to get a little bit more in here. So again, I'm taking it side, stretching. So I have a nice flat plane. Okay. There, got it. Okay, so now we're going to check for the tail. Now notice when I do the row, I'm pulling her lashes down. And I go back and forth, little circles, just like you're kind of going over your line a few times.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gradually coming in. You can go from the middle out or either way. Usually it just depends on what side you're working on, what's easier for your hand.
Okay.
It's just, you just kind of gauge where your middle of your eye is, and then you go out from there. Okay, open. This one needs to settle a little bit before I can judge. Go ahead and close again. Now, what some people work with is loops. I don't like them because I can't judge distance very well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what loops are?
Like going like.
They're glasses that are magnified with a light on the head. You have a light, you wear like this contraption.
Oh. Okay.
I don't see dentists work a lot with that because they're working in such small little area. Okay, keep closed. So see, this is starting to dilate right
Get
here.
red.
Yep. So that's why I gotta let it breathe.
Yeah, you can see on the other eye how
It's fine.
It's
Yeah.
really nice.
Yep. And it's that same area right here. And anytime you go higher on the lid, that's what it does. Because think about it, the higher you go on the lid, the thinner the skin.
So it's more tender.
It's more tender and it dilates faster. So if you have someone that wants a thick eyeliner, it's going to take you 2 to 3 times to get it that thick, because as you start to go up on the lid, it starts to dilate, and more inflamed, less color.
Okay.
So then what you do is that say they want a thick liner, the first appointment you get the lash line done, the second appointment you build it, and the third you finish.
Okay.
It's just easier that way versus inflaming the lid so
Now,
much.
Is that also the way it fades over time? Like over years?
No, it really does fade from outside in.
Oh,
Meaning like from here, because you've got the lymph system here.
okay.
So it's always pulling here, not as much at the lash line.
Oh,
Yeah, see, that's where she's dilating. Same spot on each eye. And again, the only common factor is that's where you start building the line. All right, so now we gotta wait. We're letting it settle, Nance, before we finish.
Yeah.